yesterday. That would count as day 0, and so here we are just about ready to get underway with the first repechage session of the day. Tyler Dara, Gavin Day here in the booth. Now Tyler, starting with the men's 1500 meters. Repechage quarterfinals. I'll check in though. How you doing? You were at the gym today. You're exercised and ready to go.
Yeah, I got up, got my movement in before a long day here at the short track rink in Tilburg. We got a lot of sitting down. Often we're standing up too, but want to get a little exercise before we're in for the long haul.
When the getting gets really good this afternoon for the medal races, we'll be standing up then, but we'll be bouncing up and down, I think, a little bit more this weekend. There is a look at heat number 1 in the repechage quarterfinal men's 1500. 6 heats in all, top 2 from each race, and a maximum of 2 fastest third-place skaters will go into the repechage semifinals. But these days can be quite long, although we have learned that it is possible for skaters to come through repechages and get into A finals, B finals, skate for medals. They just earn that a little bit more.
That's right. They got to put a little bit more work in over the course of that day. A little bit longer day for them. Of course, they'd be getting up earlier, spending more time at the rink, but you always got to look at the silver linings on everything, and maybe you say, you know what, they get a little bit better feel for the ice. They get a little bit warmed up before those semifinal races in the 1500 meters. So if they have that advantage, maybe they're going to be a little bit more ready to go by the time we get to the next session of the World Tour in the afternoon.
The first 3 heats have 7 skaters, the rest have 6. I believe the graphic for the start lists for heat number 1 has already been posted up on your screen, but I will run through it once again. Mohamed Bozdag of the Turkish Anatolian Pars, that's the man on your screen right now. There is Nathan Thomas of the Polish Hussars, Bence Nogradi of the Hungarian Falcons, Damir Kurmanov of the Kazakh Nomads, Ivan Martinic of the Croatian Dalmatians, Dietrich Veraklis of the Swiss Ibex, making their World Tour debut this year. Nice to have them joining the fray this weekend. And Timofey Kokelko of the Ukrainian Wildcats. A look inside the coach's box. I am never sure what an athlete can actually hear. That would be cool to do that as a future on-ice piece. What can actually be said, what can actually be heard from the coach's box when a race is in front of a busy crowd. Tyler, you would know that probably better than I do, but anyway. And Ivan Martinic did not make the start line, listed as a DNS, and so 6 skaters going off the line. Mohamed Bozdag is the top seeded skater with a world ranking of 25th. He is still only, let's see here, let me just do the math. He is 18, he's still 17, isn't he? He turns 18 in June. Youth Olympic silver medal in the 1,000 meters when he was 16. That was a first Winter Olympic or Youth Games medal for Turkey. But certainly one of this Turkish side, they have a bunch of guys around the similar age, all kind of coming up together, it feels like.
Yeah, they have this tremendous group of skaters that are really building a great team together, so it's going to be fun to watch them develop, and it's just great to see these other countries fielding teams, building some depth, and we saw some great action for them yesterday in the relay.
There are, of course, the next step. We would love to see a women's program as well at some point down the line for them, but they are building a men's side that is certainly not afraid to go up against the big guns, and it's off the front now. Dietrich Veraklis of the Swiss Ibex.
Well, Dietrich's putting in some work at the front. He separated himself a little bit, but now the pack's closing that gap.
They did not allow him to get too far away, and it is Bozdag looking very easy and comfortable on the front right now, not even really putting a hand down onto the ice.
Yeah, Bozdag's looking full control of this race. We're going to see our stronger skaters try to make their way towards the front, separate themselves from the others.
And it's Nathan Thomas getting up into second, and he's just skating. Bozdag is just skating the rest of the field off him, except for Thomas, who I think he realized the danger that the race was getting away from him, and he made the move to get some of the other skaters behind him.
And that's exactly the strategy here. You know, let's sit in for a few laps. You don't want to burn the legs. It's going to be a long day, but you don't want to get caught up in any mess in the back of the pack. So with about 7 laps to go, that's usually a good marker saying, okay, I'm going to get to the front, get clear.
We will have to check that 3rd place time as well, but it's Bosdag and Thomas going through to the Repechage semifinals. Nogradi with a 2:22.69 approximately. That's the unofficial result. They will tweak that time just a little bit, but that is the time to watch for the advancements on time, barring any advancements through incident and penalty.
So we're talking a little bit earlier, Gavin, you were mentioning, you know, what are the coaches yelling or saying from the coaches box? Sometimes it's going to be race cues or reminders. Sometimes they're going to be calling out if they see a following skater looking to set up a pass and their skater's in the lead, so they're trying to help them react to that. And other times they're just there watching, analyzing the race, and it's going to be more of a post-race debrief with the athletes. A lot of the more experienced athletes, the coaches, you know, they don't have to give them too much information. Those athletes know what they're doing, but it might be a little bit of an analysis afterwards. Okay, this is what worked well. This is what we can improve on.
Yeah, I would be a little thrown off if I'm used to my coach being quiet, and then all of a sudden I hear them as I go by. Huh? Yeah. What?
Well, the coach's box also used to be a lot closer to the ice, so it's a bit of a change where they have them a little bit back of the ice surface and a little bit higher up, so there's a further distance. It used to be in the past that the coaches would be along the mats and they could lean over and they'd be a lot closer to the athletes. It'd be a lot easier to hear. And there was even at points where coaches were using hand signals, you know, to represent the strategy that they should go for in the race. But now that the coaches are so far, it's going to be difficult to implement those, so we don't really see that anymore.
Heat number 2 out on the ice. 7 skaters, I believe, all there this time. Headlined by Dan Koss of the Dutch Lions, Denik Sepal of the Czech Ice Spiders, Quentin Vercock of the French Roosters, Wesley Yates, Alisher Abdulkatimov, Tobias Wolf, and Peter Murphy of Luxembourg.
Well, with Koss, Sepal, and Vercock here, they're a couple stronger skaters, so I can see them maybe pushing the pace a little bit, one of them, but again, you can't always bank on the time advancement, but this should be a good race here.
Ready.
Koss was just getting in this morning as I was. He got a ride in, so I'm wondering if the benefits of skating in his home nation, if he's maybe sleeping at home or something. But anyway, someone drove him in this morning. He didn't have to take the bus.
Well, it's the advantage of being at home that you can have a vehicle or a team vehicle that can drive you around. You don't have to wait for a bus. But Dan Koss had a tremendous 1,000-meter yesterday, so he's looking like he's in good shape right now.
Of course, the benefit of the repechage, yes, it is more skating, but it does give an opportunity for someone who didn't do as well in the heat or suffered an incident to come back and get that second crack at things.
Yeah, that's a great addition, the repechage. It's been around for a little while now. However, you know, if you're traveling the globe, going to World Tour events, and if you were to be knocked out in the first round of each race, it really isn't quite worth that bang for your buck to travel across the world to only do 3 races. So the repechage represents an opportunity for skaters to get more racing experience who maybe not in the top half of the field just yet. And I think it's just great for those skaters.
Wesley Yates turns 25 in just over a week on the 21st. And it is Vercock now moving to the front. But yeah, Wesley Yates, another one we've spoken about, another one of the skaters born in Canada, in Guelph, Ontario. He was skating in Canada. There is Murphy down and out. But with Yates, he had a chance to go to Nottingham, where the British team was based back in 2018. He had the UK passport, decided to stay in 2019, and here he is on the World Tour as a Royal.
Koss with a nice move on the outside, looking really relaxed.
Vercock has his international medals in the 500 meters.
Again, you can really read the body language of the skaters to determine how hard they're working. And sometimes skaters try to use that as a bit of a psychological play in the race, by not over-swinging their arms, trying to keep their arms in their back, showing the skaters behind them, hey, I'm feeling pretty relaxed right now. So, you know, trying to get in the heads a little bit.
Tobias Wolf just hanging on, the 20-year-old from Feldbach in Austria. But it is Dan Koss, Quentin Vercock 1 and 2, and we'll check the time for Wolf, 2:18.17, and so it is certainly faster than the first heat. And so I don't think there will be a wild swing as they make that time official. So that is the new pole sitter as we look for 2 potentially fastest third pace skaters.
One thing we see in the repechage too is there's typically a little bit of a bigger ability gap between some of the skaters, so the racing tends to spread out over the course of the race. Here's a replay of the wipeout of Murphy.
I missed Abdul Kadimov going down at the same time. That corner caused a little trouble yesterday for a number of skaters.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that today for sure. I was just going to say, though, the ability gap spreading the race out as it gets longer into the race, so that leads to more gaps, more room for passing, and then typically we see fewer incidents in the repechage with that field spread out a little bit, so there's fewer advancements, and that's where, you know, the times do come into play. So
we noticed that one did go out a little bit quicker that time around, and then as the races go on and those third place opportunities are still there, the times races tend to get quicker, and then it's the opposite we've noticed, where if they're not available, they just start looking around at the racers amongst themselves.
Get the slower starts, a little more tactical.
Those results have been made official. Kosfeld Cock moving through. Heat number 3, Lu Guanyi right there on your screen from the Chinese Lungs, one of the youngsters being brought in and doing very, very well. Oleg Hande, skater we often seen doing a number of events. Matthias Wolfgang of Austria is also there. There's Peter Riches of the British Royals. Felix Pigeon is the seeded skater in this one. He's ranked 23rd in the world in this distance of the Polish Hussars. Murat Tatachi is here of the Turkish Anatolian Pars, and Nurtalek Kajgali is some of the elder statesmen on this Kazakh nomad side. Of course, most of them are off at the Asian Winter Games right now.
Go to the start. Ready.
And over the course of the week, and I'll just be periodically checking how things are going. And, well, there are no Korean White Tigers here in Tilburg. They are busy cleaning up in the Asian Winter Games. They've already won the mixed gender relay. Kim Gi-lee has won the 1500 for women. Park Ji-won has won the 1500 for men. And then they swept the women's 500 meters. Choi Min-jong, Kim Gi-lee, Lee So-yoon. And one winner, Lin Xiaojun, not from Korea, in the men's 500 meters. But right behind him, Park Ji-won and Jung-sun Woo. So
Lin Xiaojun, formerly from Korea.
Exactly. So they are not here. We missed their edition this weekend, but they'll be back in Milan next weekend as we drop the curtain on the inaugural World Tour season. Everybody's going to want to be there for that one, the official Olympic test event as well, getting to feel the roar of the rings beckoning for the skaters less than a year away. And it is Pigeon on the front ahead of Hyundai, and Richards with his Top Gun helmet on the front are coming through the front now.
Hyundai and Riches going shoulder to shoulder there on the entry. Riches slipping up the inside to the lead of the race.
Number 3, 23 of the world ranking.
Wolfgang putting in some work on the outside. He's going to want to tuck in. Still trapped outside there.
Stuck on the outside. He's either going to be, are you passing or are you tucking in? He's choosing to tuck in, but that was a lot of time exposed there.
Sometimes ends up what we call a reverse pass. When you go to look on the outside, you get trapped on the outside and you find yourself falling to the back of the pack.
And Lu Guanyi sliding up into second. Pigeon now slipping back into fourth. Richards is having a pretty good race, really starting to ramp up the pressure. Lu dives into the lead. There is an incident that will be reviewed. You see that little yellow dot on your screen.
Nice tight pack here. Whoa, big shoulder check. Oh!
That one hits hard. Tatachi and Kajgali going down at the bell. It is Lu Guanyi, and then it's a battle for second. Riches, Hyundai sneaks up and gets it. Savvy move there. Riches caught out a little bit in the 2:30.04. That already is behind. So that is a very important move. First incident there on their screen was clear. There was no impact. The second incident being reviewed is on Felix Pigeon and Murat Tatachi that saw skaters go into the boards. We might get another look. Really no fear from these.
I think this is the incident here. This is the first, yeah, and that was just a bit of a hip check to the shoulders there on Tatachi that sent him down into the corner.
Another angle of it. In the straight lane, they're saying potentially changing outside to in.
And Kazgala, the unfortunate victim of that incident. Fortunately, both skaters are okay. They're up on their feet.
But of course, in that situation, when you're the victim, you're not at all involved. There's no advancement since you're not in one of those advancement positions. So if always you sort of say, if you're going to be taken out against your will, be in one of those advancement positions.
And that's sometimes part of the strategy of making sure you're up in those lead positions because you're in the potential advancement spot. Takes more work to be up front, but can definitely pay off.
Yeah, looks like the decision has been made. They go from one video screen to liaise with the video master control room where they get all the angles, and then they skate over to the second computer to our officials and punch in their decision. And then if there is discipline, they come out and announce it to us.
Yes. So they're looking at a lane change from outside to in on Pigeon, making that contact on the entry of the corner. So you got to watch if you kind of, once you've set your lane on the entry of the corner, so even though you might be wider, if there's a skater inside of you, you can't be cutting across his lane and making contact with that skater.
After review, we give penalty for skater number 39 from Poland.
There you go. It is Pigeon, the one who is penalized. But no advancements. Lou and Hyundai, 1 and 2, and their positions remain the same. Here is the look at the decision. You'll note Pigeon on the outside there, and he will dive in right there.
You can just see him, how wide he was coming down the straightaway, and even before the corner started, just cutting across, making contact with Tatachi there.
There is heat number 4, Lu Jianshuo of the Hong Kong Ice Chillins, Nico Andermann, Austria, Ward Petre of the Ice Bears, Lucas Koo, the youngster trailblazer from Brazil, Etienne Bastier of the French Roosters, and Niall Tracy of the British Royals.
Ready.
And this one, they are not going for time, I would imagine, based on what I'm seeing in the opening lap. So on the back, I'll keep an eye on Niall Tracy. But each race has a different dynamic, and Tyler, you would know better. How would these guys know if they're going to do a slow race or not? It's not like we're the last heat and they are gunning for time. We're only in the 4th heat. They could go for time if they wanted to.
They certainly could. Obviously, it was none of the strategy of these skaters to go for time, and they're all thinking the same thing, that they're not wanting to do the work off the start of this race. They want to take that draft. They want to be relaxed and conserve some energy. So all it takes, though, is one skater to have that strategy that they want it to be a bit quicker. And the rest of the field may not have the same, but they'll follow with that skater, and that will push the pace.
Is Lu Jianshuo going all the way to the front. He initially followed Tracy and then took the spot. Bastier also up there as well.
But Niall Tracy likes to lead, and we see him taking that lead of the race right back. He's one that tends to start to push the pace a little bit earlier. He's got great endurance, so I think we're going to see him continue to do a little bit of a progressive here from the front.
Petre and Lou shoulder to shoulder.
So there's Tracy accelerating out of the corner.
Here comes Bastier, the 20-year-old, that French program from Orléans, just a little bit south of Paris. And Lou
tight on the
diving up
inside,
middle.
yeah.
See if that gets, look, Petre took the bump and he's back up into second. Now there's all sorts of jockeying for position. Tracy comfortably at the front, unaware of everything going on behind him, but Petre there, Bastier, Wolfgang, Lou, and Ku. And now Lou Jianchuo starting to meander his way back up. Bastier gets up into second.
Very nice pass by Bastier.
And it is Niall Tracy with a lot of room. Lou goes down on the corner, but it off in the front. Tracy, Bastier, and it's a sprint for third, and Wolfgang gets it. But
Anderman gets that one.
Oh, it's Nico Anderman. I'm getting my Austrian skaters confused. It is Nico Anderman jumping up for third, but time was not going to really be a factor there after that.
Yeah, the time's not quite quick enough, yeah. But still like to see skaters, you know, want to compete for the position at the end of the race.
Good race for Bastier. He was, well, Ward Petre doesn't have a ranking in this distance, but of the skaters who did, Bastier ranked 90th, so good result for the young man from France.
Well, Bastier did a great job staying relaxed throughout that whole race. He wasn't, you know, trying to battle up near the front. There was a lot of movement within the field. He was staying pretty calm, making some good moves to work his way up to the lead of the race.
This might be, is this Lou going down? It is. Yeah, it just spun out on his own. On the far corner, not on this one that we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
But Tracy looking pretty comfortable there, going in for the repechage semifinal now. And then from there, they get into the main program, right into the 1500-meter semifinals taking place this afternoon. The results confirmed. Tracy Bastier, Heat 5, already on the ice. Peter Yashapati, the day after he celebrated a birthday. Watanabe Keita, the Japanese Ninjas. Tinius Ramble Alma, of the Norwegian Vikings. Wara Van Dam, of the Ice Bears. Marcus Howard, of the USA Eagles. And Raphael Moret, of the Swiss Ibex. And the rankings are just kind of scattered all over the place. We have two without a world rank. Watanabe there is the lowest ranked skater at 32nd. But there's just such a range where it could mean a whole number of things, whether they only do some races or all of them, and this one is hard to handicap.
Go to the start. Ready.
Yashapati had a tremendous finish for the relay team yesterday. Some great defensive skating by him. Fun to watch him kind of playing with his track pattern. You know, when you see athletes doing that, you really can see how they're growing and developing as skaters and getting more tactically aware of what they're doing on the ice and strategic with how they're racing against their competitors. So he's coming along.
Yesterday he turned 22. And there was a mad dash off the line, and they haven't quite settled into a slow pace, but it's not flying just yet, but it feels quicker than some of the previous heats.
Yeah, a little bit quicker. We'll keep it on these lap times.
Yashapati slotting up into second as Petre. Pardon me, it's Van Dam. I was looking at the previous heat.
Before the start of this race, we saw Van Dam and Yashapati giving a little fist bump to each other. You know, nice to see some friendships between competitors out here. And they're usually, once they're on the ice and the gun goes, then it's, you know, the race is on. But, you know, you're going to be friends. You spend a lot of time with each other over the course of a World Tour season, year after year. So a lot of these skaters know each other quite well.
Van Dam up the inside. Can't make it stick. Watanabe patiently just guided back to the front. And there's Alma, the youngster from the Norwegian program, getting up into third. And a lot of these countries, too, train together in the off-season. I know the Belgians are often in Canada and Montreal. A lot of teams this past off-season were up in Bormio for, it felt like an extended training camp in northern Italy.
Van Dam looking for a move here. He was looking outside first. Now he's opted to go on the inside.
It's Moret Just losing some contact as Watanabe turns the screws, ramps up the speed, inside 3 to go, and now at 2 to go. Yashapati, Marcus Howard.
Yeah, keep an eye on Marcus Howard here. You can really see him setting up, hooking inside. Nice pass by Marcus Howard.
Just in time for the bell. Yashapati trying to strike back. It is Watanabe on the front. And Marcus Howard getting up to second. We barely mentioned his name throughout the entire race, and then he popped up right when it mattered most.
You know, he was patient. I really like the way he finished that race off. He had a great setup for that pass, teeing it up outside. That gave him the ability to exit the corner nice and tight, carry his speed, and before the final turn, you could see Marcus Howard, you know, shoulder checking, seeing where his competitor was at. You could tell Yashapati was a little bit more outside him, so he didn't dive up the inside and kind of ditch his speed. Howard entered a little bit wider, was able to carry his speed out and defend his second position. Yashapati sneaking up the inside. Here's a look at Howard, his inside pass here.
Not even looking to see where his competitor is. He knew, I'm going for the inside, and he had it very
He had the gap there. Now, see, there's that shoulder check moving to the outside, not going on a tight entry, so then he's able to get a good exit of the turn. Yashapati has nowhere to go.
And those results are official. Yashapati, though, a 2:20.790. That is one of the new fastest third place times. It actually knocks out his teammate, Nogradi. And so Tobias Wolff is sitting on the bubble right now. It's Yashapati actually on the bubble, because Wolff, let me just see, yes, is a 2:18.154. Yashapati is a 2:20. One more heat to go. Liam O'Brien. First look at the Wolfhound for the day. Lucas Wareham, the first racing roo of the day. There is Furkan Akar. Andrew Keogh of the USA Eagles, ranked 16th in the world in this distance. There's Ben Jung of the German Wolves and Yaroslav Morozov of the Ukrainian Wildcats. We'll see if Wareham employs the same tactic as yesterday.
Go to the start. Ready.
Wareham yesterday tried the ever popular, at least up here, long distance attack. He was caught with a few laps to go, but you always appreciate the effort of someone setting off and trying to see if they can't catch the rest of the field sleeping.
Yeah, when you're planning that strategy to try to lap the pack or make a break like that, you got to make sure you do a good warm-up before the race, because you know it's going to be a painful one if that's what you're going to go with.
And you could just see it, the pain etched on his face as it kept getting more and more hard, and the legs look just more and more stiff the more fatigue set in. I mean, the average Joe, try doing a squat like that out on the ice, even at this speed. Do a wall sit. Tell me how you feel.
Well, and as you know, the faster they go, the more force, the more G's they're pulling on the corner, the harder those strides become. So, and then as you're fatiguing and you're going faster, it becomes more and more challenging on the legs.
O'Brien, this one will not be for time, and so it's really a race amongst themselves. So if you're Peter Yashapati or Tobias Wolff, you know that time won't be a factor, so it would only be a penalty and an advancement that would really knock out your third place. But as I say that, Yaroslav Morozov of the Wildcats hits the front, but they've already seen a lot of time drift onto the clock there.
Watch Andrew Keogh here. They're setting up wide. Nice outside pass.
And there is Keogh, who was in an A final in Montreal in one of the weeks, and O'Brien goes down pretty hard. He's up and he's fine, but Keogh and Wareham 1 and 2, but watch out for there's the speed coming from Furkan Akar, a man who can just turn it on, and he is launching something up the outside now.
Yeah, when you have the slower start to these races, it really plays to the hands of the sprinters. Furkan Akar using his speed on the outside to tuck in behind Keogh.
Keogh holding them off right now. Akar was very aggressively going around the outside. Each time Hio is holding him off. And there's two right behind him. Now Hio's in a dash. Wareham up the inside. Here comes Akar. And it is Wareham and Hio going 1-2. And in the end, Akar just can't quite hang on. But a good win for Lucas Wareham.
Well, great finish by Lucas Wareham there. You know, I don't think it was intent to get all the way to first, but then Andrew Hio was a little bit wider. I think he probably could have been more aggressive on maybe trying to shut that down, but he kind of realized, hey, don't take the chance. Lucas Wareham sliding into first place there in the last corner. So great finish from Lucas.
Hio. Those results have not been made official yet, but that is just about imminent. And so it's not much of a turnaround. The repechage semifinal for these men is in about 18 minutes. It's very quick. We have the women's repechage quarterfinals coming up, but that's the name of the game. If you can't get through the heats and preliminaries properly, you do get more chances to race, which as a young skater is probably a good thing, but the fatigue of waking up earlier, getting more races, getting that lactic in the legs, Tyler.
Yeah. We saw Furkan Akar there, he was a little bit trapped on the outside. He was looking to go outside of Andrew Hio, but that opened up the inside lane for Lucas Wareham to take advantage of, and he did just that.
There you have the results confirmed at 2:34. Wareham and Hio. We'll see them soon enough in the repechage semi-finals. And just a minute away or so as you see the list of qualifiers. It's the same thing for the women's repechage quarterfinals. They've actually canceled heat number 5, and so it looks like they've just congested things into 4 heats. The first heat has 5 skaters. The last 3 have 6. And the first and second place skaters from each race and up to 2 fastest thirds qualify for the repechage semifinals. Heat 1, Valentina Askic of the Croatian Dalmatians, Zofia Konya of the Falcons, Lisa Eckstein of the Wolves, Tineke Dendulk of the Ice Bears, and Svetlana Repetska of the Wildcats. And look at that, the world ranking all pretty close.
Go to the start. Ready.
Just running through the rankings, 32, 33, 34, 45, and 54. So not a huge gulf.
Yeah, no, that's a tight ranking list. You know, I like what they've done here by condensing these quarterfinals here. You know, otherwise, if they had broken it out, you would have ended up with one race of 3 skaters if you'd gone 5, 5, 5, 5, 3. So, you know, I like the addition of the 6th skater to the line in this 1,000 meter. Makes the race a little bit more exciting, reduces the amount of races on the schedule as well.
Now, why would you say that? It's one fewer races you get to talk about.
Yeah, but you know, it's more fun to watch races with more skaters.
I know it's a little bit more dangerous to have a few more skaters on the line, but 5 is manageable, but there is something more enjoyable with a race with a full field.
Yeah, well, when you have more skaters on the line, you know, in 1,000 meter, or sorry, we're in the 1,000 meter, it's a bit of a shorter.
1,000 meters.
Yeah,
sorry.
You can't be caught in the back in like position 6 with 6 skaters in 1,000. So what that ends up happening is a lot of skaters making moves towards the front, so it pushes the pace, it pushes the action, and we're seeing that right now. Lots of movement. All these skaters not wanting to be trapped in the back.
It's Askic on the front, Konya in second, and this gets me every time. Every event, I think they see the men's 1,500 meter representatives. I think it's the women's too, but no, 1,500 for women is tomorrow. Anyway, it's Askic and Konya with a little bit of separation, and it will be the Dalmatian and Falcon winning the heat number 1 in the women's 1,000 meter quarterfinal. Every time, without fail.
It's all right. We caught it.
You caught it early. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can get it next week. Women's 1,500, of course, tomorrow, as is the men's 1,000.
Because normally in the 1,500, we're accustomed to seeing 8 on the line. So that's where the 6 on the line in the 1,000 is a little bit of a change. But we can have 6 on the line. That's just fine. It's often 5 skaters, and if you get any advancements, we can get upwards of 6 in the 1,000. So it's an acceptable number of skaters in this race. But again, like I said, being 1,000 meters, you can't be caught in position 6, and that's why we saw so much jostling for position near the front right from the get-go.
Those Those results have been made official. Time to watch now. Tineke Tendulk, 135.304 as the third place. Heat number 2 out on the ice, Petra Vankova, Ice Spider, Dita Van Oorschot, Lion, Katarina Buric, Dalmatian, Yelizaveta Sidorko, Wildcat, Thea Johansson of Sweden, DNS for Sidorko, and Hedvig Hilde of the Norwegian Vikings. There are a few people who made it in here for this morning repechage session. Good little ovation for Dita Van Oorschot.
Go to the start. Ready.
Yesterday on qualifying day, it was pretty full of school kids of various ages. They looked like it was elementary school all the way up to high school. And they brought the noise, as the younger fans tend to. And then in the afternoon and evening, the very long session, it was a very well-attended qualifying day. And so it's sort of making us think about what's to come on the World Tour session tonight and tomorrow. Race for the medals, and of course we both remember Rotterdam last year, a special event.
Watch Oorschot. She usually likes to get to the front of the race, so I expect she's going to make a move, and there it is right now. She likes to control from the front.
Done that a few times. You're very good.
Just have a sixth sense.
Let's see if she can just hang on. Vankova slotting right in as Buric goes up into third and up into second. 2 moves on one corner. Nicely done for Buric.
So with some skaters, I kind of like to race from the front as well. I didn't always feel like my passing ability was where it needed to be if I were caught in the back. So I felt if I had stronger speed endurance, I think Oorschot feels that way, that she likes to control the race. Maybe not as comfortable passing. She'd rather defend and control the pace from the front. She's doing just that right now.
And it's the bell of Van Oorschot and Vankova comfortably in charge. Buric is going to look at the time for this one, and it is, in fact, Dita Van Oorschot, Petra Vankova 1 and 2. Buric with a 1:35.59, so it's a little bit slower than Tineke Tendulk's time. But for the moment, one of the 2 fastest third-place times.
Hebben we dan de dans, goede herinneringen, 2024
Got Van Oorschot off the line.
Something that we're seeing on the Dutch Lion skin suits is they have messages, and I believe they're messages from their parents that have been put onto the leg of their skin suit. So it's a nice personal touch. It's kind of cool to see. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, you can see it now online. Unfortunately, I don't read Dutch. But yeah, if you can get a look at that, it'd be cool to see what some of them have. I'm sure they'll be out there on social media if you're, since a lot of the skaters are on the various social media pages. I'm sort of blanking right now, but
the gram, Instagram.
Yeah, there you go. I'm not being paid to endorse anybody's, but anyway, so I'll let you figure out what athletes are on, but I imagine they'll be out there posting their messages. But yeah, you can see it there on Dita Van Oorschot's leg. And she is through. Vankova and Buric now is the one on the bubble with the second fastest third place time. Heat number 3 on the ice has Louisiana Stahl, the young American Eagle, Zhang Yan, the young Chinese Lung, let's just say they're all young, Annabelle Green of the British Royals, Chloé Olivier of the French Roosters, Hidai Ami of the Japanese Ninja, the seated skater. She's ranked 18th in the world, and Leah Mead of
Position 3,
New Zealand
little bit to
Ice
left.
Kias.
Yeah, okay. Go to the start. Ready.
1,000 meters, heat 3 of 4. And it is Louisiana Stahl, the youngster on the quartet of American women. Hopefully getting some invaluable race experience on the World Tour this season. Julie Latai back this weekend for the Americans. Annabelle Green was often the lone British Royal women's skater. Holly Hoyland did some of the early ones in Montreal and is back now this weekend. And it is Annabelle Green on the front. Green, who is another one of the skaters born in Canada. Her mother won silver and bronze. Eden Donatelli Green, silver and bronze in speed skating in Calgary in 1988. Her father, Julian, also skated for Great Britain.
Olivia and Stahl there had a contact on the entry, and Stahl went down.
Oh, I missed it there. There she is on the corner. That will be reviewed. I was busy sharing factoids, not paying attention, so thank you for spotting. It is Liu Wanyu on the front, Hidai Ami, or Zhang Yan, pardon me, on the front, Hidai Ami in second. Watching Annabelle Green at the bell, it is Zhang, Hidai, Green, and Mead, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it's a little bit slower than heat number 2, so it looks like it would be the top 2 temps, of course, pending this review we now have to pay attention to.
Unfortunately for Stahl, that contact, we'll have to wait for the review, but they were in the back of the pack, so not in an advancing position.
It would be, they're looking at Chloe Olivier possibly changing lanes from inside to out. We'll get a different look at it here. There is the move, but yeah, it was right near the back of the field, and that's the bump. Down goes Stahl.
Zhang in the front of this race, she did a great job just controlling the speed, progressing it at the finish line.
Looks like that has been reviewed. And they'll punch in the results and we'll see what they announce.
Well, when we watch the replay here, pay attention to the red line down the straightaway. So that's a reference point for the officials as a marker to see the track pattern, the lanes that the skaters are in, and how they're moving across on the straightaway. So that helps them really define if they're shifting, inside to outside. And I think that's what they're looking at here, was an inside the line of Olivier coming back across the track to try to establish position and make contact.
Penalty to skater number 49 from France.
So you have it, Olivier penalized, no advancements as it wasn't in the advancement position. So Zhang and Hidai are the two to qualify. Annabelle Green's time not fast enough to be among the faster third place time. So Katarina Budic and Tineke Dendalk just hanging on as we look back at the incident.
So Olivier here, exit of the corner, comes inside that red line. Then you can see her moving back out across the line, making contact with Louisiana Stahl and putting her down.
So one more heat to determine who moves into the repechage semifinals. There's a start list: Hyojin Kim, Liu Wanyu, Ocheli Levesque, Holly Hoyland, Barbara Gakova, and Miroslava Seliakova. I'm a big fan of that Racing Ruse kit. It came out the December World Cup.
To the start.
Or World Tour races, pardon me. Old habits still do die hard.
Ready.
But for so long, Australian kits have that deep navy blue, and it's still on the legs, but they added the green, which is so common in a lot of Australian sports teams. Liu Wanyu on the front. It is Levesque following her, a young woman from Grenoble. Of course, French speed skating in general on a bit of a high. They have the long trackers, Timothy Lubineau and Mathieu Belloir, picking up medals in mass start. And so just like their short track counterparts, building a program, eyeing 2030 on the radar.
Well, the French Roosters are led by their coach, Thibaut Fauconnet, who's very strong short tracker in his time. So great to have the experienced coach, standing behind you on your coach's box there, leading your team.
all-time greats. Really, since he left the French program, has sort of been working to find that identity, because he was the guy for them
for quite a while.
And they do have some medals. They have the European Championships in the mixed team relay. Quentin Fercoq has some hardware from 500-meter races, so they are showing some signs of life. Anyway, this race really picking up. At the bell, Liu still in front, 3 skaters going for it. It is Levesque right behind her, and then it's Hyojin Kim, but it is Liu Wanyu, Aurélie Levesque, 1 and 2, and the time will not be good enough for Hyojin Kim, and so no advancements. It looks like, we'll wait for it to be officially official. Katarina Budic hanging on, and Tineke Dendulk as the 3rd place skaters. But we'll wait to see the full roster of qualifiers. Pretty much going wire to wire.
Yeah, Levesque was doing a good job just defending that 2nd position in this race, keeping a really tight gap on Liu, not giving up any space. You can see how close behind her she is.
A valiant effort, just coming up just short. And the men's 1,500 meters back on the ice. There you have it, the top 2 qualifying from that race. So that is good news for Budic and Dendulk, both going on as the fastest 3rd place skaters. And another clean morning. So pretty clean so far. Some penalties, but not a lot of reviews, keeping things zipping along. I'm sure it will remain that way over the course of the weekend, and we can let our guard down.
Knock on wood. This is an incredibly quick turnaround for these skaters in the 1,500 meter move from the rep quarterfinals to the rep semifinals. I feel like it might have only been 15 minutes.
About that, yeah. I mean, it might have been 18 from the last heat getting off the ice. So 2 heats, 1 place in each heat for the semifinals. So you don't have to worry about time, but a lot of guys, 7 and 7, going for just 1 spot. There is Quentin Fercoq, Tobias Wolf, Mohamed Bozdag, Luc Guagny, Etienne Bastier, Lucas Wareham, and Andrew Hio.
Go to the start. Ready.
Yeah, it's a win and you're in scenario, which is, you know, you got 7 skaters, 1 spot available. That's a challenging task.
It's going to be a big test of our mostly clean racing so far, because when guys are going for 1 spot and their legs get a little more tired, incidents do happen.
Well, when it's only 1, you know, you want to be up near the front. I think it's going to start slower because you don't want to do a lot of work, but you want to make sure you don't waste any time, because that pace can quickly change, and if you're back, that's a lot of skaters to overcome, a lot of distance to get to the lead. So you don't want to be caught in the back when the pace picks up. So typically we'll start to see it, you know, move a little bit quicker because there's fewer spots available to qualify through.
We have a few pretty pure sprinters out there. Bozdag moving his way to the front. I know Fercoq was at the front controlling. Those guys probably would like things to go a bit slower, but Bozdag now actually ramping up the speed. But he does have that Youth Olympics medal in the 1,000 meters, so not afraid to go a little bit further. But now it's Les Bleus, the French, 1-2 on the front, the Roosters.
Bastier picking up the speed now.
You have to wonder at what point will Fercoq maybe try to defend his position, and that would give an opportunity for his teammate to go out in front, but Bozdag quickly dispelling that.
Watch Liu up the inside. Oh, catches Bozdag.
And now Fercoq back into second. That will be reviewed. But it's the French 1 and 2 right now, keeping an eye on Andrew Hio. He's the top ranked skater in this field, sitting in 5th, but French skaters going 1 and 2, but Liu Guagny getting back up into 2nd.
Andrew Hio always looking so calm and relaxed in his races, but he's got some work cut out for him as this pace picks up. Sub-9 second lap times now hitting the board.
What a result this could be if Etienne Bastier can hang on. He spent a lot of time at the front, so the legs have got to be screaming at him now.
Watch for
Inside
Foucault.
2 to go.
Oh, contact with the blades on the U.
Quentin Felcock up into second. It's French 1 and 2 right now. Let's see if the teammates battle it out. It is Tobias Wolff of Austria trying to close it, but it is a great race for Etienne Bastier, the young Frenchman.
Fantastic skate from Bastier. He just took that. He got to the front and he just let it out. Great job. You know, there's a lot of action happening in behind him, but he kept pushing.
Still just 20 years old. He turns 21 in about 8 days' time. And this is certainly a memorable result for that man. They will review some other things, but I don't think anything will be taking away from that race win.
No, well earned for Bastier, but we are going to take a look at this inside pass by Liu. Hands up, you could tell he's kind of saying, uh-oh. Bozdag's there, victim on the outside. They are looking at a possible advancement here for that.
Bozdag does go down. Fortunately, when it's just placements and no time advancements, what it does is just nothing takes away from those who advanced on place, unless, of course, they are the ones penalized. But it just makes for some busier races later on. So, watching. So, Bozdag was in second position. It would have been made a first pass that was fine, but the second one is where the issue was. Just diving in, and you spotted him putting his hands up before it happened.
Yeah. You can know you could see, he knew he was carrying too much speed. He was going beyond what he was actually intending for. Coming in late inside pass on Bozdag, making that contact.
I didn't do anything. ... I
haven't done anything yet. Yeah.
So we'll see what the ruling is.
Ja, het is wel degelijk ook besloten. De jager van Lauw is onderweg naar het middenterrein en we gaan naar de luister.
After review, we give penalty to skater number 156 from People's Republic of China and give one advancement to skater number 97 from Turkey.
There you go. So Liu penalized. Bozdag wasn't in that automatic qualifying position, but he is advanced.
Yeah, and it was quite early in the race when that incident occurred, and he was sitting in second position, which is right behind the qualifying spot. So I think it's, you know, throwing him a little bone there.
And here is the incident. So the first pass is fine. It's just the second one is the illegal late one. And that's where Bozdag went down. But Etienne Bastier will see semi-final action as part of the World Tour program. Look for those breakthrough results and certainly confident skating from him. Anyway, heat number 2. Dan Koss, the ovation. Watanabe Keita, Marcus Howard, Peter Yashapati, Nathan Thomas, Niall Tracy, and Oleg Hyundai.
Left. Thank you. Go to the start. Ready.
The Repechage quarterfinal. If you weren't with us about 20 minutes ago, Dan Koss went out in front, controlled everything, and just was unbeatable in his Repechage quarterfinal.
So we're talking earlier, Gavin, about how taxing the 1500 meter can be on your legs. And that's why we see these skaters not having much knee angle right now, not much knee bend. They don't want to use their legs. They were trying to save their legs rather for the finish of the race. They don't want to tire themselves out unnecessarily early on. But again, with only that first skater advancing through, you want to find yourself near the front, but you don't want to overwork to be there either. But then what we start to see is a lot of moves happening towards the front of the race, and that starts to escalate the speed.
It is Watanabe on the front.
Dan Koss looking to go back to the lead. Yashapati moving up the inside on Watanabe.
Koss is 25th in this distance on the World Tour standings, picking up some points at the last stop in Seoul. But at the front right now, Peter Yashapati.
Let's watch for Tracy, because he's typically one that likes to be near the front, and he's sitting quite far back in 6th position right now. I expect to see him making a move too very soon. Marcus Howard picking his way up the inside.
The one who stealthily made his way through in the last race. And now here comes Tracy around the outside. But a lot of skaters have the same thing in mind, pick up the speed and get around other skaters.
Yeah, as soon as you hear a couple going, then the pace really picks up quickly. Tracy putting a lead on. He was on the outside, so he was carrying a lot more speed once he got to the front. Now he's just carrying that, making a little bit of a gap.
Now he has a pretty sizable advantage with 3 laps to go.
Wow.
It's going to take some doing to close this back up. Maybe Tracy went a little bit too
Oh,
early. As
Howard
Marcus
down,
Howard
losing
goes
an
down
edge.
at speed. He was in pretty close quarters with some other skaters, and lucky nobody else was taken out. But tough break for Marcus Howard. And Tracy is hanging on with plenty of time to spare. He timed his move perfectly, and Niall Tracy with the fist pump.
Yeah,
into the
making it look easy. You said it, Gavin. He timed the move perfectly. It was right at the exact moment he was building on the outside, so he's carrying more speed. So once he gets around the other skaters, he had more velocity. They were kind of jostling, looking for some inside moves, slowing each other down, but Tracy was just free, and he carried that speed, got off the front of the race. Really smart skate from Tracy.
So what is being investigated is Watanabe Keita on Yashapati. But by that point, by the time Marcus Howard went down, Niall Tracy was well off into the distance. This might be the incident right here. That's Howard on his own.
And that same corner, that ice is just struggling a little bit. I don't know, what it is there, but that section of the track gets worked a lot, because that's when skaters are really accelerating, building off the turn, so it chews up the ice a little bit. And maybe it's just a little bit of a softer spot. I'm not sure what, but we've seen a lot of skaters fall victim to that corner exit.
So an explanation. Watanabe maybe didn't finish a pass on Yashapati. I haven't seen a replay of that incident. Also potentially looking at a lane change from inside to out from Watanabe. That won't affect Niall Tracy in any way. He is comfortably through. And down to the ice.
After review, we give penalty to skater number 6-7 from Japan and give advancement to skater number 5-8 from Hungary.
And so there you have it. Watanabe is penalized, and we do have another advancement, so it's going to be some pretty packed start lines this afternoon. Yashapati moving on, joining Niall Tracy into the semifinals. We get another look at it, of course. The ice resurfacers are back up. We'll take one last look here.
So Yashapati sitting in 2nd position.
Right there, inside to out the lane change. That bumped Yashapati out wide, and I think that was the same corner that Howard got down, because I remember Yashapati was out wide when Howard slid out.
We will be back.
And so there you have it. Those qualifying into the semifinals, that will be part of the World Tour program this afternoon. The lights go down, the ice resurfacers come back out. We'll be back in about 15 minutes for the women's 1,000-meter repechage semifinals. So wherever you are watching us around the world, a chance to take a quick break. Back with you shortly.
In Brabant. En als je zegt Brabant, dan zeg je natuurlijk DJ Funky Town.
Zeker, dankjewel Jan. Hartstikke goed, dames en heren. De eerste ronde die zit erop. We gaan inderdaad de baan verzorgen. Maar sterker nog, daar zijn we al mee bezig. De rondjes worden gereden. Alle tijd om heel eventjes een klein beetje achterover te gaan zitten in je stoel. Te kijken naar de grote schermen. Voor belangrijke boodschappen van onze partners en sponsor. Here we go.
Mitsubishi is elk model verkrijgbaar als zuinige hybride. Zo kan je kiezen uit de Apex Cross PHEV, de hybride Colt of ASX, of de ultieme plug-in hybride SUV, de Outlander PHEV. En allemaal standaard met 8 jaar garantie. Dat is makkelijk kiezen. Hier in Tilburg zijn we vaak in beweging. Omdat het leuk is. En ook omdat het plezier geeft. Van jong tot oud. Met elkaar en voor elkaar. Zo willen we altijd. Dus doe ook mee. Want samen fun, samen fit. Ga naar sportintilburg.nl om alle mogelijkheden van sport in Tilburg te ontdekken. De nieuwe Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV staat vanaf maart in de showroom. Standaard met 8 jaar garantie. Dat is nog makkelijker kiezen.
Voor Spasport? Wel winnen, hè?
Go to the start. Ready? Wil jij kans maken op een Daikin Bansen? Daikin is de trotse hoofdsponsor van heel schaats in Nederland. En 25 officieel gesigneerde 10,5 schaatswansies. Ga snel naar Daikin.nl/wansie. Scan de QR-code en kans op jouw wansie.
Ja, inderdaad, die QR-code kun je inderdaad scannen. Daar hebben we straks nog allerlei kans voor, want we gaan in de middagsessie nog mooie wansies van Daikin weggeven daarin. We hebben een minuutje of 10 voordat we naar de volgende race gaan. Ik kreeg hem zojuist te horen van collega Jan van der Meulen. Dat betekent dat we even een klein beetje de mensen op hun gemak willen laten voelen. So especially for the fans from Poland, Polonia, Polska. Ik weet niet aan de overkant. Ja, hartstikke goed. I downloaded a song from internet. I don't know if you know it, but I hope it suits you and it gives you a welcome feeling here as well.
Tam przestałem ufać Bogu, siedzieliśmy tam bez celu. Cztery jak na dołku, bez powodów i dowodów za to, że mam łeb na zero. Tyle samo mam w portfelu na osiedlu bez tarasów i ogrodów. Lecz już wtedy czekaliśmy na coś więcej niż autobus. Dzisiaj prezent to jest produkt, to brand name jest jak Pepsi. Choć nie jestem wciąż lerdierem jak Gatsby. Rzucam towar w teren jakbym był myjerem męskim. I to stało się popkulturowym dziełem jak Banksy. I to nie sen, ona ma czarny lubutem. I jest sztuką jakby malował ją Gauguin. Jemy śniadanie jakby gotował nam bordel. Bo to jest życie, o którym każdy kłamie na Instagramie. Złamiemy łóżko, nim złamiemy sobie serce. A ona leży teraz na stole jak oferta. I wszystko mi mówi, że moglibyśmy dziś mieć wszystko. Lecz obudziłem się z myślą, że nam znowu coś nie wyszło. Wczoraj miałem taki sen, że mam nadwórną dom. Śpiewał taki w jestem tam schowam znowu. Słuchaj czerwone wisi słońce i nie ma problemu. Niebieskie niebo całkiem dobrze widzę stąd. I nie jest szare. Myślałem, że jesteśmy gdzieś daleko stąd. A to co czuję, to też wcale nie jest mną. I nie jest szare. I budzę się i znów ci tutaj nie ma ze mną. Chciałem tylko, żebyś była ze mną. Na stałe. I nie mam cię, ale jest badgiel jak Riri. Szybka jak rani, robię co mówię jak Siri. Wąska w talii, ciało jak butelka coli. Jak kupuje działka, jakbyśmy grali w Monopoly. Piję kawkę, ona whisky sour. Na niebie golden hour, zawijam ją jak maki w nori. Jej ciemne okulary zasłaniają oczy, jakby chciała ukryć to, co zrobiliśmy w nocy. Ona tańczy, a patrzy, jakbym siedział w żyli. Potem daję jej wysokie noty. A szczegóły są pikantne, coś jak piri piri. Motel, hotel, tylne siedzenie Toyota.
Nou, we zien nog weinig herkenning bij de Polen. We gaan eens kijken hoe het bij de Belgische vrienden is, bij onze zuidenburen. Hoe is het daar aan de overkant? Gaat het goed of niet? Mooi hè? Waar komen jullie vandaan ongeveer? Antwerpen, hartstikke goed. Je weet dat in de geschiedenis dat Antwerpen ook gewoon Brabant was, hè, vroeger, dat weet je wel, hè, of niet? Jawel, echt waar. Moet je eens goed op het stadhuis kijken, dan zie je een hele mooie grote gouden leeuw op zwart. Dat is wapen van Brabant, wist je dat? Ja, en als je omkeert krijg je Vlaanderen. Maar ja, wij zijn Brabant, hè. Wij zijn hier op Brabant. Antwerpen hoort er wat ons betreft nog wel een klein beetje bij. Dus speciaal voor jullie, ook een beetje om jullie thuis te laten voelen. Ik had ook Eddie Marley kunnen kiezen, dus dat heb ik niet gedaan. Ja, gezellig. Daar gaat ie. Oh, eentje. Oh, mooi. Niet wegduiken, hè, gewoon meedoen. Dan kon je in de ziel in op een café dan ver vroeger. Mocht je ook niet wegduiken. Het is trouwens wel goed voor onze algemene kennis. Ik weet dat de Zilje failliet is, maar bestaat Café dan ver, of niet? Ook niet meer? Ja, zonde. Jammer. Dat die traditie niet verloren gaat zoeken. Dingen maar. Ik vind dit is nu al het leukste land van vandaag, mag ik dat zeggen? Warme gevoelens bij Bels, hartstikke mooi. Nee, anders dan denk ik, hè?
Denk je eens terug aan die eerste dag. Ik weet nog precies wat ik toen dacht. Voelde al meteen dat jij de waarde was. Heel langzaam zoek mijn allerslechtste grap. En als het moet, maak jij me zien eraf. Want wat wij hebben, heb ik echt nog nooit gehad. Kan ik
Zo, dames en heren, beste vrienden, het licht gaat weer aan. Dat betekent dat wij van de gezelligheid op de tribunes van Team Polska. L'équipe la Belgique. En waar zijn de Nederlanders? Oh, hartstikke mooi. Goed zo, goed zo. Wij gaan door naar de wedstrijd. En dat wil zeggen dat we ook doorgaan naar onze toernooidirecteur en natuurlijk onze speakers, dames en heren. C-chef Klans, Justin van Zutphen en natuurlijk Jan van der Meij.
Dankjewel DJ van Town. Volgende race is komen eraan en naast ons heel even C-chef Klans. Van harte welkom, leuk dat je er vandaag komt. Hier in Tilburg, fantastische ambiance en gisteren een top eerste dag.
Lights are back on. Repechage semi-final for the women's 1,000 meters coming up. You see the start list, 5 skaters. 2 heats of 5 skaters, winners from each heat moving on. Of course, as we saw in the 1500s as well. Advancements changed that as well. Might be some bigger numbers, but just running through the list. Petra Vankova, Valentina Askic, Tineke Dendalk, Hidai Ami, and Liu Wanyu. There's Luke just getting on the ice in helmet number 61, Petra Vankova of the Czech Ice Spiders. She actually dislocated her shoulder the day before the 2025 Euros a few weeks ago, and I think it was right back out there on the ice, just popped it back in, and these are a different breed of people, aren't they?
That can't feel good. Oh man, I never experienced that, I gotta say. And I'm glad not to have.
Pop your shoulder back in, go race. There is Tineke Dendalk. But yeah, Vankova, when we get a look at her in that Ice Spiders kit, there is Liu Wanyu, but she also competes nationally in cycling. And of course, you know as well as anyone, there is a huge crossover in cycling and speed skating. A lot of cross training, a lot of people race in both as well.
And Canada, at the very least, I could name probably a handful of speed skaters that were both speed skaters and cyclists. Obviously, Clara Hughes having medaled in both cycling at the Olympics as well as the woman long track. I think, I'm trying to think, well, she won gold in the 5K amongst other medals.
Go to the start. Ready.
And remember, despite what some people may say, this is the 1,000, not the 1,500. The women's 1,500 goes tomorrow.
Despite what Gavin says.
Who? No, he's been replaced. Hidai Ami is the top ranked skater in this. She's ranked 18th in the world, but it's Liu Wanyu, currently ranked 56th. But as it's one thing we've learned this weekend, this Chinese lungs program, my, is it deep.
Well, Liu had some great success in the previous round, being up the front and just pushing that pace towards the end. We saw her making a move early to the lead. We'll see if she wants to take it back, but Askic is coming up the inside.
Smooth move up the inside, slotting into second. But now it's just really ramping up.
Liu's going to try to fight her way back on the outside, but the pace is picking up already.
Hidai still leading.
Dendalk holding her off.
Vankova trying to get up into fourth, and now it's a nice move from Askic to take the lead.
Very well executed inside pass by Askic.
And now she has the responsibility to defend Liu Wanyu right up into the rearview mirrors of Hidai Ami, but it's still Askic on the front. She'll get the bell, trying to hang on. Hidai just letting Askic know, I'm right here, gave her a little tap. And Askic may just hang on to move into the semifinals. Quarterfinals, pardon me.
Very nice skate from Askic. Well done. She had that great pass. Really nice setup. Hidai was looking at the end, kind of had a glimpse up the inside. It wasn't there. Then she had to back off, lost a little bit of speed. That created a gap, and then the race was over from there.
Croatian Dalmatians. There was the move into second, and then just biding her time.
See that setup right here. Steps out wide, gets those 2 crossovers in on the entry, is able to build her speed so that she can make this nice inside pass on the exit. Textbook.
26-year-old, born in Bosnia, is Valentina Askic. Moving on into the quarterfinals as part of the afternoon's program. Heat number 2, of course, headlined by the home nation skater Dita van Oorschot, Sofia Konya, Katarina Buric, Zhang Yan, and Aurélie Levesque.
Number 2 is coming up. It's race number 101 on your schedule. Aurélie Levesque, Zhang Yan, Katarina Buric, Konya, Sofia. En vanaf de eerste stoppositie gaat ze proberen zichzelf terug te rijden in het hoofdtoernooi. Dit is Dita van Oorschot.
Is ranked 23rd in the 1,000-meter classification standings on the World Tour.
Go to the start. Ready.
And it is Van Oorschot off the line quickest. Katarina Buric was sitting in position 3, just dropped right to the back. Always never sure if there's method to the madness or if something happened, but she slotted into 5th. But it's Van Oorschot, Konya, Zhang, now being passed by Buric, and then on the back it's Levesque. So Buric quickly recovers to get back up into 3rd place.
Well, Oorschot's in her office, so to speak. This is where she loves to be in a race, controlling from the front. Watch Zhang, though, building a lot of speed on the outside.
Absolutely no fear from these young Chinese skaters, and Aurélie Levesque trying to follow in her wake, wasn't able to pull it off.
Konya jumping up the inside as well.
But Dita van Oorschot is just taking it from all sides.
Yeah, it's so difficult when you're in the lead and you have multiple skaters passing you, looking inside or outside, because you're trying to defend, but you can't defend at all.
Now Van Oorschot trying to make a move on the outside. She's been caught up out there. Decides to tuck back in for now, and it's Konya now eyeing perhaps a move, but just Zhang out in front. Nobody's able to catch her right now.
Well, Zhang's looking so comfortable, so controlled right now. You see the arms on the back down the straightaway. She's not fighting, right? There we go.
And Sofia Konya sizing up a move. She'll try to take it at the line, but no, it is Zhang Yan with an impressive skate.
Well done.
So she will advance into the quarterfinals. Nothing has gotten a review. And Zhang Yan, 21 years old, on the Chinese lungs. Turns 22 in April.
So here's Oorschot. She goes for, oh, the replay is over. Konya jumping up the inside. A little bit of a contact. Not too bad. And the relief. Double fist pump, knowing your job. You did your job.
And into the quarterfinals. There it is, the one qualifying spot. So it's Valentina Askic and Zhang Yan moving into the quarterfinals for this afternoon. And there is that graphic confirming that. And so we now switch things up for the men's 500-meter repechage. And these guys will skate, they'll resurface, and then those who have advanced will skate again in the repechage semifinals. And in these quarterfinals, 8 heats. First place skater from each race, and up to 2 of the fastest second place skaters qualify for the repechage semifinals. So little margin for error in the race that perhaps more likely would bring reviews. 2 Turkish Anatolian pars in this race, 2 Ukrainian Wildcats, Furkan Akar, Denis Orz out of Turkey, Yaroslav Morozov and Daniel Bergen from Ukraine, and then that man, young man, still in high school, Lucas Henry Koo, born or lives in Philadelphia.
Go to the start. Ready.
And it is the 2 Turkish Anatolian pars out in front. Of course, Furkan Akar is a very good sprinter.
Just a tremendous reaction and start from a car. But Ors is looking very relaxed, kind of following him. Was looking very smooth. But a car is using that speed, building those exits really well.
And Ors is keeping up very well with his more experienced teammate. But at the bell, it is Furkan Akar trying to lead this wire to wire. His own teammate, Dennis Ors, in second, but Akar takes that one.
40.6 is an impressive time. It's one of the quicker 500s we've seen thus far this weekend.
And a 40.93 for Dennis Ors. That's the one on time that we are now going to be watching. So look back, and so in the 500 meters, you may not necessarily lose a race on the start, but you can sure win one.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just the number one lane position is the first lane position is the one that you want. If you look at the stats of who wins the 500 most often, it's that position number one.
And so we will see him in the repechage semifinals. Now Ors will watch and wait, and of course time matters for seeding for that repechage semifinal.
That time could hold up, 40.9. That's quick. The ice has been good in terms of speed, but it's not certainly the fastest ice in the world. So I think that those 40-second range lap times are quite quick. The fastest times we've seen this season on the World Tour are just kind of clipping under that 40-second mark. So, and that's from skaters like Steven Dubois that put up quick times.
Heat number 2, Lorenzo Previtali of the Gladiators, Nico Andermann of Austria, Liam O'Brien of the Wolfhounds, Lujan Schwo of the Ice Chillins, and then Linus Risnes of the Vikings.
Go to the start. Ready.
I know O'Brien would certainly like to join his teammate, Sean McAnuff. As I say that, they collide. That will be bringing them back. They both look okay, of course, in the 500 meters in particular. If they don't get around the apex on the other side, they tend to bring them back if there's a collision. But Liam O'Brien, his teammate, Sean McAnuff, with one of the happy results of the day, getting to go right through into the main program in the 500 meters, winning his heat.
O'Brien's getting his skates checked out quick.
So they don't penalize on these collisions. They just bring them back to the start line, and they went a little click of the blades. I think Lujan Schwo took a bit of a tumble, and he was feeling it a bit afterward.
I should say they don't always penalize on these incidents.
True.
If you remember at the World Championships last year in the women's 500 meter, I don't know how many times we restarted that race. It feels like it was 4 or 5, and then finally there was eventually a disqualification on that. Yeah.
Good memory. Wow. Yeah, I do remember that. But yeah, oftentimes, the majority of the time when those incidents happens on the corner, they bring them back, which is what they will do this time.
And the ruling used to be up to the apex, and they've since changed that, where any contacts up to the last block of the corner could be recalled back.
So just a click of the blades between O'Brien and Lou, and so we will try take 2.
Go to the start. Ready.
And not going to do it this time either.
2 different skaters this time.
I think it was Andermann and Previtali.
Yep.
I heard a click, and then down went
I think
Andermann.
Previtali's left foot as he was crossing over just hit the left toe on Andermann. Get a replay here. It happened so fast, eh?
Next thing you know, down on the ice into the mats. Let's see.
Oh, you know,
I think it was
behind.
Yeah.
Anderman was contacted with his blade behind.
Anderman, who is 25 from Vienna. It's a beautiful city, by the way. If you've ever been,
I'll have to go.
It's absolutely lovely. Let's see. See if we can break this
Go
out, Jim.
to the
See if
start.
third time's the charm.
Ready.
And really, nobody hesitated. Even though it's the third time, everybody hammered into that corner. This time, they're all through.
Repechage just flying off the front of this race. You can see how well he's building those exits. Long out. Now he's settled into his pace, controlling it.
Is Nico Anderman trying to chase him down. Liam O'Brien sitting in third right now. But Lorenzo Previtali just going too quick for everyone behind him. Anderman is closing it up a little bit. He may get a chance at a pass at the line, but no, Previtali just has enough of a gap, and he will take this one into the repechage semifinal.
41.5 is the time on Previtali here. Not the official yet, but you know, we saw Furkan Akar go 40.6. Like I said, that was a quick time in that previous rep quarterfinal.
And Dennis Orrs, his teammate, the one who is watching his time, was below 41 as well, and so he is still the fastest of the runner-up times. And those results have been made official. Anderman's time, 41.626, and so he is the one on the bubble right now. Still a lot of heats to come, though. Heat number 3 has Zhang Yuchen of the Chinese Lungs, Rainis Berzins of the Latvian Golden Stars, Wesley Yates, British Royals, Etienne Bastier of the French Roosters, and Tinas Rumble Alma of the Norwegian Vikings. Already a good day for Mr. Bastier. If he can't do the double in the 1500 and the 500 repechage to get into the main program. Is Zhang Yuchen. 26 years old, so he's not one of the younger skaters, but just getting his chance with the top names on the program off at the Asian Winter Games.
Ready.
And Zhang is actually a member of the men's relay gold medal side from the 2023 World Championships in Seoul. It's not a bad option to have off the bench for the Chinese Lungs.
No, and again, that's a testament to the depth of their team. Berzin's tracking him down. You usually get one good opportunity to pass in the 500 meter. Berzin's kind of taking that wide track, looking for his opportunities. He's going to have to strike soon. Here it is.
And is this the moment? He cannot make it stick. Zhang defending well just after the bell on Zhang Yuchen. He might get another chance. Berzins comes, and I think Berzins gets it.
You know, what fight from Berzin's there to keep going. You know, like I said, you usually get one good shot. He took his chance. He didn't make it. He had to back out. He lost a lot of speed.
It will be reviewed. I believe that's what the yellow card is for, but plenty of fight.
Absolutely. And there was a block knocked off on the tractor in that last corner too. So sometimes here's a look at Berzin's first attempt on the pass. Sees it, you know it's not going to happen. He has to back out. You lose some speed there, and there's less than a lap to go, but Berzin's gets it at the line.
And the review was cleared. They were looking at a potential arm block, but both were kind of involved in that right there. And so Berzins gets the automatic qualifying spot. Zhang now is the second fastest of the second place times, and so he's now the one on the bubble. There you have it. The clock means he will now watch and wait the remaining pairs. Sean Shui, the American youngster, is in heat number 4 out of lane 1. Aibek Temir Khan, Tobias Wolf Frederick Pedersen and Damir Kurmanov. And so youth is served on this one. A couple of the young nomads, Sean Shui, the young American.
Well, I remember Sean Shui yesterday doing a 40.8 in one of his 500 meters. So he's got the speed. This race could challenge those times of Furkan Akar and Ors.
Wolf also just 20 years old.
Go to the start. Ready.
The dash into the corner. It is Shui out in front. Tamir Khan in second. So once again, the benefits of positions 1 and 2. And Pedersen is trying to close back up. See if he can't pick up some speed and maybe launch a move. It is still Shui and Tamir Khan.
Sean Shui just really carries his speed well down the straightaway. His weight shift pushes look so powerful. He can keep his speed going.
And an impressive result forthcoming for Sean Shui, going wire to wire, going a 41.15. Like 41.44 is Tamir Khan's time, which would not put him ahead of Jean, but if nobody can catch you, nobody can pass you. Just watching those eyes coming out of the corner, really cool to see. Love that angle.
Shake of the head. I don't know if he...
Room for improvement, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's, you know, a lot of athletes always feel that race. I don't know if you ever have an athlete say that was the perfect skate. You always feel like you have more to give. You can always improve no matter how well you skate.
And Sean Shui into the repechage semifinals. That will be after the next ice break. 4 heats still to go. DNA Cellier of the Polish Hussars, probably the one to watch. Valery Klimenko of the Kazakh Nomads, Murat Tatachi of the Turkish Anatolian Pars, Radek Fajkus of the Czech Ice Spiders, and Rafael Moret of the Swiss Ibex. And there is Mr. Cellier. There's Fajkus.
Go to the start. Ready.
And it is Cellier, quick off the line, diving into the corner. Oh, there's a stumble between Fajkus and Klimenko.
Well, that just opens up a huge lead for DNA Cellier, so he can really just skate this race controlled. You don't want to shut it down. You still want to have a good time as you move forward. However, you have less pressure behind you. You don't need to take any risks.
Tatachi was caught behind that gap, and so once again, the benefits of being on the front. It's a victory lap for DNA Cellier. Coasting over the line, and he will be back out for the repechage semifinals. And Tatachi's time of 43.23, getting be caught behind an incident isn't going to help that. And so it won't be one of the faster runner-up times. And so the graphic didn't come up yet, but it is, of course, always being looked at. The collision between Klimenko and Fajkus. Just the click of the blades,
yeah,
they're saying.
Might just be a racing incident. Right there, there's feet coming together, right? Two skaters on opposing strides. The tracks two are getting caught up in the mix too.
Nice agility from all of them. The one jumping up on the boards.
Here's another look. Yeah, just those feet coming together. Yeah, opposing strides.
One on the right skate, one on the left, and
whoa.
Whew. The one in the middle there.
He's earning his paycheck today.
That's some talent. So Xavier going on. So yeah, they are taking a look at something there. We'll see. Heat number 6 out on the ice, so they're just trying to stay warm. We've seen a couple skaters putting their jackets on as they warm up and get set up. So yeah, it's, as Tyler pointed out, both essentially just striding towards each other, one with the right foot, one with the left foot, to really create that contact. So racing incident, I believe, and yeah, the result is actually not official just yet, but I believe that's forthcoming unless there is an announcement. It could be a shared responsibility, of course, which we haven't really mentioned, but let's throw it down to the ice.
After review, we give no penalty due to shared responsibility between skater number 188 from Kazakhstan and 69 from Czechia.
And there you have it, shared responsibility, which means no penalty.
The result is official. Janet Sellier moves on to the semifinals of the Repechage men's 500 meters.
Sellier moving on. Heat number 6, Niall Tracy. Oh, I'll actually get another look at the shared responsibility here. One strides right, one strides left, and right here it comes. There. Bang.
Caught some airtime.
Heat number 6 now, Tracy, Koike Katsunori, Zdenek Sepal, Peter Murphy, and Dietrich Varaklis. Tracy already doing quite well in the 1500 earlier today. Maybe the 500 of the 3 distances, maybe not his preferred choice, but
to the start.
He has the inside lane advantage though, but he has the speed.
Exactly.
Ready.
He is the 3 of the 5 skaters here have a world ranking. He is the lowest world ranking at number 46, and he is indeed off and away. Koike right behind him, Sepal in 3rd. Oh, and down goes Varaklis,
Dietrich,
the
yeah.
Swiss Ibex, but it is a battle of 2.
Oh.
Now Koike trying to make the
Looking
move up
tight.
the inside. That forces Tracy out wide. And you see the video review graphic coming up, but wow, Tracy's coming right back, and he's attempting a move of his own
On the
around the
outside.
outside. And he does take the win.
Wow. Niall Tracy not giving up on that race at all. That was a tight, maybe that was a late entry pass, late inside pass by Koike there on Niall Tracy, but Niall Tracy stays on his feet, keeps his speed going, wraps that outside pass for the finish. So what happens there is, perhaps we'll wait to see what the call was.
Looks like they cleared it anyway.
Yeah.
So if anything, like you were saying, inside pass, and in the end he won anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say if there were any advancements, it would have been negated anyways because Tracy ended up winning the race still.
We'll see the replay of it at some point. Here's the move
Here it
from
is.
Koike. Didn't even
The
look like
finish,
it.
that's the finish there.
Pardon me, yeah.
2 more races to come.
2 to go, and the 42.248 not enough for Koike Katsunori.
Well, this is going to be a very busy race. Our next quarterfinal. 6 skaters.
6 on the ice for the last 2 heats. We have Ben Jung, Ivan Martinic, Rostislav Leontenko, Andrew Hio, Kyle Ross Waddell, and Mark Chismadia.
Kyle Ross Waddell and Mark Chismadia.
There is Hio at world ranking number 9. You would think that he is the man to beat.
Go to the start. Ready.
So you can see on the start line there, the skaters getting their arms up, making sure that they have space so they can get a clean start. You want to make
unhappy there. He thought he might have been bumped around the corner, but sorry to interrupt on you there.
I missed it. I was just talking about how the skaters just making sure they have space on the line to get a clean start, give themselves the best chance to get into the lead. There's Andrew Heo moving up into second.
It was a good start for Kyle Ross-Waddell all the way out of position 5. He got right up there, but Heo picking his way through the field has one last chance to make the move. Ben Jung stumbles, and that opened the door. I think that was Jung on his own.
Yeah, he just kind of lost his footing on the exit of the corner. I think he could feel Andrew Heo was coming. He looked to try to maybe close that gap a little bit or close the door, but he just lost control.
The little green dot on the corner. That was the review of the start. And they took a look at it. They did clear it. And so, unfortunate for Martinic there. But I think they might have been just around the corner. But anyway, it's Heo winning. Patient race from him. He didn't have the fastest start, Tyler, but he picked his way back through the field. That's the first incident right there. That didn't get brought back. But Heo, comfortable. His face never reveals anything. You see him out there, he's always just, it's a neutral expression.
That's why I always say calm when I watch Andrew Heo. Just looks calm and collected always.
There is 42.842, not enough for Kyle Ross-Waddell. And so still the 2 times waiting Zhang Yu Chen, a 41.277. And Dennis Orr's first time from heat number 1, 40.916 that Tyler thought could stand up. Well, it has been. It is still the top second place time. Heat number 8, another 6 skaters. You see Brendan Corey, Łukasz Kuczynski, Wara Nuachon, Enzo Prost, Matthias Wolfgang, and Lucas Warren.
Enzo Prost, Matthias Wolfgang, and Lucas Warren.
Go to the start. Ready.
And it is again out of position 1, Brendan Corey. Łukasz Kuczynski of the Hussars is the top seeded skater in the race, and now he takes the lead with the Racing Roos pairing up behind him.
Well, the Ice Bears went in shoulder to shoulder, kind of pushing each other both out of this race.
Are they sizing up a move? Kuczynski keeping them off for now. It looks like it is going to come down to Brendan Corey. Łukasz Kuczynski going up the inside, and there he goes.
Well executed pass from Corey there. Nice and clean. He's able to continue his speed building. Make a little bit of a gap for the finish.
Right at the bell, and Brendan Corey hangs on the rest of the way to take the victory, moving into the repechage semifinal. The time won't be fast enough for Kuczynski, and so until it's officially official, I'm saying it's Dennis Orr's and Zhang Yu Chen as the second place skaters.
Yeah, that was still a quick time, like I said, from that first heat, that first race of the 500. I think those guys have some good opportunity to battle this afternoon in the 500 meter now if they both go through.
So that was where Kuczynski made the initial move for the lead, and that's where I think you saw the Ice Bears battle amongst themselves. But then Corey battles back, takes the win, and we will see him after the ice resurface. And the results, Corey moving on.
We will proceed with our next event.
So after the ice resurfacing, the men's 500 meter repechage semifinal, and then we get into the mixed team relay to wrap up the morning session. Wait, I think we got that right. Anyway, you see the qualifiers. The lights will go down. The ice resurfacers are about to come out. So we take another pause. Back at 11:43 local time. That's 15 minutes from now. Stay with us.
Mixed Team Relay halve finales. Als het licht gaat dimmen en onze Ambience Light gaan aantrekken, is natuurlijk onze Ambience specialist in de buurt. DJ van Vitaal, gaan we doen?
Ja, we gaan leuke dingen doen, Jan. We hebben zo meteen een aantal gezellige mooie activaties met het publiek. Dus dat wordt zo meteen lachen, gieren, brullen en smullen. Maar we gaan eerst even kijken naar onze boodschappen van ja, onze sponsoren en partners. Kijk even naar.
Mitsubishi is elk model verkrijgbaar als zuinige hybride. Zo kan je kiezen uit de Eclipse Cross PHEV, de hybride Colt of ASX, of de ultieme plug-in hybride SUV, de Outlander PHEV. En allemaal standaard met 8 jaar garantie. Dat is makkelijk kiezen.
Hier in Tilburg zijn we graag in beweging. Omdat het leuk is en ook omdat het plezier is. Van jong tot oud, met elkaar en voor elkaar. Zo winnen we altijd. Dus doe ook mee, want samen fun, samen fit. Ga naar sportintilburg.nl om alle mogelijkheden van sport in Tilburg te ontdekken.
De nieuwe Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV staat vanaf maart in de showroom. Standaard met 8 jaar garantie. Dat is nog makkelijker kiezen.
Mooi strafspark. Wil winnen, hè?
Go to the start. Ready? Wil jij kans maken op een Dijk & Bouncy? Dijk is de trotse hoofdsponsor van heel schaatsen in Nederland. En 25 officiële gesigneerde Team NL schaatswansies weg. Ga snel naar Dijk.nl/Wansie. Scan de QR-code en maak kans op jouw Wansie.
Zo, dat waren de boodschappen, dames en heren. Dat betekent dat wij zo meteen nog eens even wat gezelligs kunnen gaan doen. De wedstrijden die starten over een kleine 10 minuten. Ik ga even wat muziek in, maar zo meteen weer terug voor wat leuke dingen. dames en heren, dit is short track en dat betekent dat we niet alleen spektakel op het ijs hebben, maar ook het maximale van ons publiek nodig hebben. Voor een beetje gezelligheid en zo. En ik wil gewoon even kijken hoe de sfeer is zo'n beetje op de tribune. Ik ben heel benieuwd. Oh kijk, mijn vaste fanclub zit er weer, dat is heel fijn hier zo. Ik ga nog eens even kijken hoe de sfeer is op de tribune, maar aan de overkant, dames en heren, kunt u even zwaaien met dat. Even 3, 2, 1, even zwaaien. If you're on the other side, wave your hand. Ik weet niet wat het is in het Pools, maar dat gaat, ja precies, ja, hartstikke goed. Ik ga even aan de korte zijde kijken, ja, je hoeft niet te zwaaien, je hoeft niet te zwaaien. Ik mag even lawaai maken met de voeten, even stampen met de voeten, 3, 2. Ja, dat is aardig, dat is aardig, dat is aardig. Aan mijn kant zit ook nog een hele hoop mensen, kunt u een beetje lawaai maken met de stemmen, 3, 2, 1. Er komt een heel intelligent Brabants woord uit. Hey. Hartstikke goed, fantastisch, goed gedaan. We gaan heel even kijken, dames en heren, of het lukt met elkaar om even wat, ja, een beetje gemeenschapszin te krijgen. Het is bijna carnaval, dus volgens mij zijn we een beetje in de groepsgevoel, een beetje in de volksmennerij, dus dat komt helemaal dik in orde. Mag ik jullie vragen om even allemaal 1 hand in de lucht te doen, alsjeblieft? 1 hand in de lucht, 1 hand in de lucht. Oh, sorry. Had ik erbij moeten zeggen, de tribune die het beste doet, die wint straks prijzen. Ja? 1 hand in de lucht. Put one hand up in the air, s'il vous plaît. Ja, uit. Put one hand up in the air. Put one hand up in the air. And put it outside on the right side of your body. On the right side of your body. Hand down the right side. On the right side. Sorry, ik ben even... Ja, dank je. Dan gaan we rustig zwaaien. Dan gaan we zwaaien met de hand. Komt-ie. Zwaai. Zwaai. Wave. Wave. Sorry. Mannen zijn al boos op me. Rustig aan, ietsje sneller. Rustig aan. Hou vol, hè. Nog ietsje sneller. Oh, lekker zwaaien naar elkaar. En dan zwaai ik nog niet. Ja, zwaai. Hou vol, hè. Oh. Wauw, dat gaat hartstikke goed. Ik wil graag even wat met jullie oefenen als dat kan. We hebben zo meteen nog allemaal races, maar als er nou een Nederlander in de race komt, we hebben altijd zo'n tuentje net voor de wedstrijd, net voordat de heat begint. Maar het is wel aardig als dan de beat erin komt, dat we allemaal even meeklappen zo meteen. Dus we gaan het even met een ander tuentje even oefenen. Let op, ik zou zeggen, maak de handen even vrij. Even 2 handen op deze stand. 2 hands op deze stand, alsjeblieft. Dankjewel, ja. Even let op. En dan mag ik even meeklappen. Klap. Achter mij ook, hè. Oh, daar is het weer, hoor. De voorzitter van de fanclub. Rustig aan, ook aan de linkerkant, rustig aan. Easy, clap your hands. En dan gaan we langzaam een beetje omhoog met die handen. Put your hands up in the air, put your hands up in the air, put your hands up in the air. Het werkt zo snel. Klap. We gaan 500 meter, hè. We gaan het even 1 keer proberen, dames en heren. We gaan het even 1 keer proberen. Ik pak even de startlijst erbij, maakt me even niet uit, want... Oude, ja, dankjewel. Even, het is een oude, denk ik. Kijk, we gaan gewoon even oefenen, bijvoorbeeld, dames en heren. Kijk, stel, dit is gewoon de intro van een nieuwe heat. Dan zegt Jan Paul met nummer 49, Voet Barakar, we hebben Dennis Kors, we hebben Neil Tracy met nummer 27, we hebben Andrew Hio. En dames en heren, we hebben natuurlijk ook vanuit Nederland een heel groot applaus voor Jens van het Uit. Er komt de beat erin, dan klappen we even mee. Komt-ie? Het is niet zo moeilijk, hè? Het is niet zo moeilijk. Zelfs de jury doet mee. Kijk eens even spontaan. Gezellig, hè? Helemaal in shape zo meteen voor de races. We gaan snel terug naar het ijs. Want het licht is al ruim van de Meulen. Wakker worden.
Ja, dat was even meeklappen. Tilburg kampioenschap uitgemaakt, dat ging heel goed. En we gaan ons weer concentreren op de race. The men's 500-meter repechage semi-finals coming up, and the first placed skater from each race will qualify for the quarterfinals in the main program. Dus
ja, dat is natuurlijk heel belangrijk. En wat wel mooi is om te zien, Jan, we gaan die 500 meter natuurlijk zien.
Last individual races of the morning session. Men's 500-meter repechage semifinals. 2 heats. Both of them have 5 skaters. Only one from each heat will move into the quarterfinals this afternoon. Of course, advancements always make that possible that there could be more moving on, but on paper anyway, one in each heat.
#1 starting positions in both semi-finals.
And what was interesting, we just noticed this. You, back in the first heat, you were impressed by the times of the 2 Turkish Anatolian pars, both under 41 seconds, and thanks to that, they are both out of position 1 in each of the heats.
And that's a huge advantage for these 500s, as we talked about. So that's why it's important that skaters, as they're racing these rounds, even if they may have a lead or a gap, that those times will matter going forward to better their start lane position.
It'll be interesting to see Ors, the newcomer to this Anatolian Pars World Tour side, because he was following in his teammates' wake that time. Let's see what happens with him suddenly in position 1. There's the start list for heat number 1 for Kanakar, Sean Shui, Zhang Yuchen, DNA Cillier, and Brendan Corey. And so it's a healthy amount of power there.
Certainly. And as you mentioned, Gavin, you know, Ors was following that race, so it'll be interesting to see if he can pull that speed as well, because some skaters are very good at drafting and following in someone else's track pattern to get that speed and in their draft, and then can they do that on their own is another thing.
Let's have a look at Cellier, born in France, racing for the Polish Hussars.
Well, Kanakar has a tremendous start. He's got a great reaction. He's got quick feet to get to that corner first with position number 1. But Sean Shui is a young skater showing his ability this weekend. I think he's going to be probably tucking into second and then looking to make a move.
He also led really wire to wire and nobody able to match him.
Go to the start. Ready.
And it is those 2 off the line. Cillier thought better of what was going on in front of him out of position 4 and just got dropped to position 5, and that already puts him and Brendan Corey well behind the 8 ball.
As I said earlier, Sean Shui really carries his speed well in the straightaway. We'll see if he can set something up here. Brendan Corey down in the corner.
Seems to be okay, and it's 3 piling into the corner. Zhang Yuchen into second, trying for the lead.
Oh, here's an opportunity for Sean Shui, though.
Shui up into second, kind of. They makes it stick, but for Kanakar, surviving that one. There will be some reviews, but I don't think that applies to him.
No, clean skate from a car. Well done. I think Sean Shui was looking to set up a pass, and then Zhang took advantage of that opportunity to jump up the inside, take second position. And Sean Shui, after Zhang was looking for a pass into first, saw the opportunity to try to make a move, but Kanakar was able to keep his speed going. And then we saw that tight entry. Here's another look at that inside pass. Sean Shui taking advantage of that to move up. But then that's a tight entry there between those 2 skaters.
And it is a car held off Zhang Yuchen, and then was able to get the victory. Yeah, they're looking at, it is on Shui, on Zhang in the straight, possible lane change inside to out, and this could potentially lead to an advancement. So the results have not been made official just yet. But yeah, you noted the opening. He just didn't really complete the pass in time for the corner.
Yeah, there was some contact between Zhang and a car there on the entry, which usually results in the skaters losing some speed, but they didn't lose quite as much as maybe Sean Shui was anticipating, but he still had to go for it, right? You got to get yourself into a position to move on, so you can't hesitate when you see those opportunities.
This is it right here. That's not what they're looking at.
It's this.
This is what they're looking at, and so we'll see. As always, the kind of look is where are the shoulders, who's in front. But yeah, they're saying potentially a lane change inside to out, and we will let them make the announcement on the ice.
After review, we give penalty to skater number 191 from USA and give advancement to skater number 183 from People's Republic of China.
So there you go. Shui penalized. Zhang is advanced. And so two going on to the quarterfinals from that one heat. And so here it is again, the lane change inside to out.
You can see Sean Shui coming inside that red line on the straightaway, then stepping back out, making the contact.
So two coming there. Heat number two already out on the ice. Dennis Orrs, by virtue of that other fast time in the repechage quarterfinal, getting position one. Rainis Berzins, Lorenzo Previtali, Niall Tracy, and Andrew Hio. Certainly plenty of potential in this race as well.
Andrew Hio's going to have some work to do from lane position number 5 on this start.
Go to the start. Ready.
Oh,
there is a false start.
Previtali.
It was interesting to watch Dennis Orrs getting his personal bubble space from Rainis Berzins, but here's a look. And yeah, looks quite clear that it's Lorenzo Previtali, and that is the outcome, unfortunately for him. And we are down to 4 on the line. And is that to the benefit of the guys in the outer lane? They get to scooch one place closer?
Well, it's a huge benefit to the skaters in position, 4 and 5, because now there's fewer skaters in the race that they have to try to overcome to get to the front. So that will definitely work to the benefit of Niall Tracy and Andrew Hio. Again, watch for skaters, making sure that they have space on the start line as to not impede their strides when they're getting off that start line, trying to get clean into the corner first.
Go to the start. Ready.
And Orrs like a rocket. He's 19, and that was a pretty quick start indeed.
Just blowing the doors off this race, opening up a gap and making it look effortless. Niall Tracy with a nice clean pass up the inside. He's got some work to do though. He's got to rein in Orrs. We know he has speed, but Orrs is looking very relaxed. Maybe too relaxed, as Niall Tracy is coming in hot, and he's going to want to carry that speed right by as he makes that gap closed.
And Orrs went out like a shot, but the gap is closed. There goes Tracy at the bell. Berzins trying up the inside, so an impressive skate for Dennis Orrs, just not able to hang on. Niall Tracy times it well, gets the pass into the quarterfinals.
Well, talked about this earlier. We saw that Orrs could follow that speed, but he shot out like a rocket. He had that opening speed, but he really kind of shut it down there. It almost looked like he was just kind of giving up on it after he knew that Niall Tracy was going by. I'd like to see a little bit more fight, in the finish of the race to try to hold that position. But Niall Tracy, great inside pass here, and then he had to put in the work to close that big gap. I think Orrs felt like he had a comfortable lead, but maybe shut it down too early.
But now we are a little bit more aware of Dennis Orrs, 19 years old. He doesn't turn 20 until April. I'm sure you take the lessons and you remember them later on down the line. So I don't think anything needed review. In fact, yeah, it is confirmed. Just the Previtali penalty, and Niall Tracy goes through into the quarterfinals. And a couple more races still to come before we head off into our lunch break here in Tilburg. And then the big World Tour session to come this evening. The races for the medals, the races for the points, the Crystal Globe, all coming down to final 2 weekends. But it is mixed relay time. These are the semifinals. As you see who qualified, Akar, Tracy, and Zhang Yuchen advanced.
And now we have a short break,
Man.
a few minutes, a little bit more than one song, because at 11:54 we will restart.
So it is a tiny break of a handful of minutes as they get the track set up for the final 2 races of the day. So why not? We'll take a quick little pause too, catch our breath for the mixed relay.
Which is new in a lot of sports to get a mixed event and in short track. Well, it's really like it was always there already. En dan gaan we natuurlijk straks kijken naar de muziek. En daar zitten een paar hele spannende ritten in Tilburg. Want het wordt wel serieus, hè? Dit zijn gewoon halve finales. En dat betekent natuurlijk ook dat we straks in de eerste race al de oranje-leeuw combinatie in actie gaan zien. In een sterke race tegen Hongarije. De Hongaarse, je weet het allemaal, dit worden allemaal bijnamen voor de teams. En de Hongaarse valken, de Chinese draken en de Italiaanse gladiatoren. Te zien. Over gladiatoren gesproken. Niet je van niet aan, ons eigen Brabantse gladiator. Zeker. Heb jij nog even wat leuks een minuutje? Ja, misschien is het wel aardig om de tijd even te vullen, toch? Ah, mooi. Als je mensen in één keer wakker wordt, dan denk je, oh, gezellig. Ja, dat is een mooi ding, hè? Niet allemaal te beuken op zo'n dag. Deze ringtoon van Justin en elke ochtend. Ze kennen me goed op. Nou, dames en heren, dan gaan we mensen meebewegen. Ja, heel goed. Forza Polska.
Had to stop singing there. They got Queen going over here in Tilburg.
En Viva Hollandia. Is smakelijk trouwens.
Mixed relay semifinals. 2 heats, 4 teams in each. First and second place go to the A final. Third and fourth go to the B final, and these races will be on Sunday. And if I remember the schedule, the mixed relay always opens the day. It's the first medal of the day on Sunday.
That's right.
Petra Yashapati will start for the Hungarian Falcons. Michelle Velzebor for the Lions. Song Jiaori for the Chinese Lungs. And it is Ariana Siegel for the Italian Gladiators. So both Velzebor skating. Italy has Gloria Ioriatti.
Go to the
both
start.
the Siegels and Thomas Natalini.
Ready.
And true to form, Michelle Velzebor. Doesn't matter really who's opening. It's usually one of the Velzebors off into the lead at the start of the mixed relay.
We're seeing some of the bigger names now in this mixed relay. We haven't seen them yet this morning. This is a great opportunity for them also to get on the ice and get a little bit of a feel before they start their individual events this afternoon.
And in comes Sandra Velzebor, Hao Wei-ying in second. And at the back, watching for Gloria Ioriatti. She's maybe sizing up a move. Never mind the Hungarian Falcons also potentially making a move. Now Ioriatti goes up into third just in time for Natalini to come in on the men's exchange for the first time.
There's a bit of space, little small gaps opening up, leaving opportunities for passes, but these skaters are cruising pretty quickly right now, making those passes more difficult.
It's Toon Boer at the front for the Dutch Lions, and he will go to Jens van het Wout, keeping an eye in third. Pietro Siegel, a never-say-die kind of skater, will not give up the fight at all. And it's Peter Yashapati on the back for the Hungarian Falcons.
There's Siegel making a move into second, positioning the Gladiators into a great spot.
And this time they keep the same start order, do the Dutch Lions. Michel Velzeboer as the Lungs make a look up the inside. Song isn't able to make it stick on Siegel. Is the fastest woman in the world right now. Sander Velzeboer, Gloria Ioriatti tucking right in there. Those two places would move on for the moment.
4 laps to go.
Natalini trying to stay up with Toon Boer. And the gun, one more exchange coming. These exchanges are, of course, scheduled, unlike the individual gender relays. Jens van het Wout onto the ice. Pietro Siegel, will see if he takes a stab at the man who took away a number of his European championships a few weeks ago. And Siegel with the move. And he makes it stick on Van het Wout. The Lungs not going to have an opening, though, but it's the Italian Gladiators sending the message to the Dutch Lions.
Jens van het Wout just kind of lost his footing on the exit of that corner in the last lap, opening up the opportunity for Peter Siegel to jump through the opening and take the lead for the finish.
But it's already there, the B final for the Chinese.
So
here's another look of Jens van het Wout, just kind of hesitating. Looked like he might have the ice been breaking on him, just keeps it cautious. Siegel taking the win for the Gladiators.
So the top two into the A final. Those results are official. With the Dutch being the world's #1 ranked team at the moment in the mixed relay. Italy ranked #7. It's a good result for the Gladiators. Heat number 2 out on the ice. It has the Canadian Ice Maples, USA Eagles, Polish Hussars, and Belgian Ice Bears. There are the results confirmed. Of course, the Canadian side with the world record in the distance, picking it up in Beijing. Stop number 3 on the World Tour is a 235.427. And they do have Felix Roussel, William Dongenou, Florence Brunel, and Kim Boutin. There is
Dene Blais.
Dene Blais, pardon me. Well spotted, sir. That's why you're here.
Got to contribute somehow.
The main program at 13:32. Now time. Our first starting position.
And what is essentially a sprint relay. Hussars have plenty of sprint potential with Nivinsky, Selye, Malashevska, and Kamila Stormovska. USA Eagles have their usual contingent: Kristen Santos, Griswold, Korn, Stoddart, the 1-2 punch. And then they also have Marcus Howard. And just want to confirm that it is, yes, indeed, Brandon Kim. The Ice Bears, Tineke Dendalk, both the Desmets, and Ward Petre.
Go to the start. Ready.
And it's Brunel, Stoddart, Malashevska, and Dendalk getting things off on it is the Canadians. Just like the Dutch, their customary position out like a shot. And some early separation. Big 3 at the moment. In comes Blais, in comes Santos Griswold, and in comes Stormovska.
Kristen Santos Griswold on the inside of Danae Blay. Oh, Danae Blay goes down to the corner. She doesn't have coverage.
Blay was down on her own. It's supposed to be, I believe, still a woman skater who has to cover for her.
Yeah.
There was no touch. Blay is still going. Brunel tried, but Blay was waiting for the traffic to clear, and so it is a bit of a disaster for the Ice Maples.
Well, it's so difficult to make those covers when you got to exchange with another female, and then you only have two. So the one who just finished, Brunel, who just finished her exchange, was not in a position to tag up quickly, and then by the time she got there, she couldn't get across the track.
And then Hussel also got a late tag and didn't get a push, and so it's just the nature of the beast where you have to remember, is it a woman, is it a man skater, and so much can go wrong. And for the Ice Maples, it did, but at the front, it's Kamila Stormovska in front, Corin Stoddart watching her. Tineke Dendalk is closing up the gap a little bit for the Ice Bears.
Well, with two teams together now, they can kind of take a sigh of relief. They don't have to battle it out, but that's going to allow the Ice Bears to potentially get back into this race as Hannah DeSmit hits the ice.
Malashevska gives way to Stormovska. Santos Griswold retaking the lead once again. Last time that happened, the Canadians who were passed, that's when they slid out. And I think that was just another instance where a skater on their own going out. Howard and Cellier, Petre trying to close a little bit. One more exchange to come.
Cellier up the inside for the Hussars to take the lead now with 2 to go. Nowinski takes the lead.
Michał Niewinski, Brandon Kim 1 and 2. Stan DeSmet trying to close it down. 1 to go. He's closing it a little bit. Is there enough room? Brandon Kim going for the lead. Audacious move by the American ahead of Niewinski, and kudos to the effort for Stan DeSmet. Made it close, but the Hussars and the Eagles looking like they will race for gold. Donjanu crossing for the Ice Maples. So we might get a look at the incident. There's the pass, and just on her own. Unfortunate for Danae Blay. We've seen it over the course of this weekend a few times. So the Ice Maples will be shut out of the medals for the second time this season in mixed relay. They got a bronze and a gold from Beijing. After setting that world record, they did not advance to the A final in Beijing. Pardon me, it was gold and silver, bronze in Montreal, missing the A final in Beijing, and then rebounding for bronze in Seoul.
And that means we came to an end of our morning session.
And that is the last race of the morning session. When we come back with you, it will be time to race for the medals, race for the Crystal Globe points. You see the qualifiers: USA, Poland to the A final, Belgium, Canada to the B final. And if you are watching on the ISU YouTube channel, keep an eye out. It is a different link to join the afternoon's World Tour medal sessions. Those are the 4 teams that will race Sunday for gold and in the B final as well. And so we will catch, it's a very quick break. We will return in about an hour and a half, just under an hour and a half. And so we're gonna dash off downstairs, have some lunch, come back up for the ever exciting medal round session. Signing off for now from Tilburg. Gavin Day on behalf of the entire crew putting this together, and Tyler Dara as well, my analyst, signing off until the next little bit. See you shortly.
It's now time to prepare for the main program. Together with DJ Funky Town, we will guide you through the day. DJ Funky Town.
Ja, dankjewel. Dankjewel. Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you so much, Justin. Dames en heren, ook veel dank aan jullie. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for attending this morning session. When we start the session in about an hour. We hope you have enjoyed this morning session. We certainly have enjoyed your attendance here in this wonderful, wonderful short track stadium during the Odido Cup part of